and it was absolute pandemonium as far as the draft lottery went.
Man, that was crazy.
In Chicago. My goodness. Let me run down the top 4. We won't give you every pick, but the top 4. And then, Rob, I know you can share your take, and then I'll share some of my thoughts. At number 4, the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, what was their slot, Rob G? Where were they? 7? 11. So they moved all the way from 11 to number 4. So good for the Lakers. They get the 4th pick in the draft. Number 3, the team that had, their whole fan base was just dying to get the number 1 pick. They finally thought this was their year. The New York Knicks instead get number 3. No Zion, that's for sure. And then at number 2, you got the Memphis Grizzlies. Again, let's throw out the conspiracy theories because Memphis being this high would not be the choice of the NBA. And then number 1, for marketing reasons, number 1, the New Orleans Pelicans with the 1st pick. And look, this is a year, obviously the big story. Their season was ruined when Anthony Davis requested a trade at the trade deadline. And now, does this change his thoughts about staying or going? Now the Knicks, we thought if they got number 1, they could trade Zion for AD, or whoever got number 1 could trade him for AD. Obviously, that's not an issue now. So those are the top 4, Rob. What are your thoughts initially?
Just shocking, to be honest. I just, it wasn't a scenario I thought about. I never thought about New Orleans getting the 1st pick, Chris. Did you? Not for a second. So
I was shocked when you said, and I'm going to give you props to some degree, you said you thought Zion, you wanted Zion
to wind up in New Orleans, yes.
But you thought it would be via trade.
And
I
the only
didn't even
reason
like that.
I know you didn't like it, but I was
like, dude, I don't want to see. And I'm from Louisiana. My parents met in New Orleans.
But I'm saying it from a standpoint of
going there.
A franchise that's about to lose AD, right? He said he wasn't re-signing there. So they need a player. You need a big-time player to attract people and sell tickets. That's why I thought him going there, and that if the Knicks would have gotten that pick, they probably would have made a deal. But, Chris, I still believe that Knicks plan is not gone from this standpoint. Why can't they now trade the 3rd pick, right, to New Orleans, and New Orleans could have the 1st and 3rd pick, get rid of AD, who doesn't want to be there and wants to be re-signed.
He still okay, go ahead.
You see what I'm saying? And so then the Knicks could still get AD and then still get Kyrie and KD as free agents. So if I'm the Knicks, I'm trying to trade that pick. And if you're New Orleans, if you know this guy is not serious about staying there, I'm not letting AD walk, and I could get 2 young players, star players, 2 of the top 3 players who are looking to rebuild, and we're going to have them for a number of years. It makes sense to me. If I'm the Knicks, that's where I would go. What do you think about that?
Well, I think you're making a lot of sense, and here's why. Number 1, trust me. America, you listening, trust me. This changes nothing for Anthony Davis.
Right.
He still wants out. All right? He still wants out. So that's number 1. Number 2, New York and LA, as in Lakers, are 2 teams. Those are the only teams we definitely know, and that I definitely know from talking to people around this situation, that Anthony Davis would tell the teams, I'll stay long term. If Boston tries to trade for him, they are going to be told he's not signing long term.
There you go.
So if you want to give away Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and some draft picks for a 1-year rental, so be it. But he ain't staying. Chicago be told the same thing. Most teams outside of New York Knicks and Los Angeles Lakers will be told that. So, Rob, to your point, that gives the Knicks some leverage.
It does.
And here's the thing. I was thinking while you were talking initially, I was like, you know what? If I'm Memphis, I got the 2nd pick. I'm trying to trade the 2nd pick, which is going to be Ja Morant, for Anthony Davis. And I'm saying to New Orleans, you can team Ja Morant and AD, and Zion. However, Anthony Davis is not going to stay in Memphis. So the Grizzlies would be crazy to do that. And you think, I want Zion with Ja, but hold up. Who'd he play with last year at Duke? R.J. Barrett.
Yes.
Or even Cam Reddish. Some people think he might be a better prospect. But the point is, you could actually, R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson were roommates.
No,
They're
right.
great friends. You could put them together.
And they can do their own thing. You know, we got a team, you know what I mean? We were in college together, and now here we are in the NBA. They can kind of own it, and you get rid of AD who doesn't want to be there. I don't think the Knicks are out of it. I really don't.
I think because of the some of the things I just mentioned, the circumstances, I agree with you. Usually you would think the number 3 pick's not getting him. But he still don't want to be there. You're one of the few teams that he would sign with long term. And in the draft pick you're going to give up could be one of his best friends.
Right.
You know, so this is it. The only potential monkey wrench in that plan is if Zion and RJ really aren't that close. You know what I mean? It's kind of, they just do it for the cameras. But I got to admit, I don't see that from, they were just on the ESPN being interviewed together again tonight. So I think it's real. And if it's real, then you could be right, Rob. It could be a good situation for the New York Knicks.
Yeah, and for New Orleans, because you get 2 young guys. Right. Not too many teams get the first and third pick of an NBA draft.
Oh, my God.
Think about that.
Look, and here's the thing. Going into last year's college season, R.J. Barrett was viewed as the number 1 player in the country by a lot of people.
Exactly. Coming in. Absolutely.
Yes. So they have a chance. And, you're right. That's interesting. What about the Lakers? Now, they shoot up to number 4.
Which is a big break for them. That's unbelievable.
Right. But kind of, in my view, the last thing they need, you're the LeBron James show.
No,
now.
You're right.
The last thing you need
not trying
is
to develop
another
anybody,
young player. Right. And you fall just out. Like, this was viewed as 3 top guys, Zion, Ja Morant, and R.J. Barrett.
I'm glad you said that.
The rest,
you know why I said that? Because when Rob G came into the studio and he said, well, but the Lakers got the 4th pick, I said, name the 4th pick. He couldn't give me a name.
Right.
And I said, I said, we've been talking about the same 3 guys forever. I can't tell you who would be the 4th pick. I can't.
I saw ESPN on a mock draft they threw up. You may have seen it. They had the point guard from Vanderbilt. I don't see that. Unless I don't see that. You got Lonzo Ball. You got LeBron James handling the ball. Cam Reddish. Some people like him. The point is this. You're going to probably bring in another, good young talent. But that's not what you need right now. So to me, it becomes more trade bait. More trade bait to try to get a good veteran around LeBron James.
No doubt about it. Yeah, because it really doesn't fit in for where the Lakers are. They've had enough. LeBron's going the other way. Aging star, 3 years to go. You know what I mean? You're not trying to develop anybody. You already got some young guys.
If you're going to keep LeBron, it's win now. And I'll say this, and I think that's how they should be, Rob, because franchises go through stages. There are times when it's time for a franchise to go young and, a good season is 31 wins. There's a time for that. But there's a time where you get sick of that. Like Detroit, I've mentioned them before.
Right.
There was a time years ago they said, you know what? We're going on young, start all over. It's not about the playoffs. Let's just get some young talent, and then 4 years from now, we'll
develop
be better.
It. Right.
Right. Didn't work. And what do they end up doing? Trading for Blake Griffin. Because, hey, being in the playoffs as a 7th seed is better than being in the lottery for the 8th straight year. That was kind of what they came to. Phoenix, now let's see if these young guys pan out for them. But they've been in the draft lottery for several years as well. LA, if you trade LeBron for a bunch of more young players, you're going back to where you were 2 years ago, where you got all these young kids and 35 wins is viewed as and a nice season. Is that what you want? No, the Lakers are already upset because they missed the playoffs 6 straight years. They are ready to at least be, a threat in the playoffs. And so you keep LeBron and you try to build around him. And if it means giving up this 4th pick to do it, then so be it.
No, I'm with you. It'll be interesting to see because it just was a weird. I don't know. Did the draft was it weird to you too? It just seems so weird, Chris. It's nothing what I expected. It's just nothing what I expected.
Well,
and I'm sure the Bulls aren't that happy. Would you? They got 5.
Yeah, and again, see a team like the Bulls or Phoenix. You don't need another pretty good young player. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You need a young star, or you don't need another young also ran. You get too many of them and it becomes a problem. And so I agree with you. I mean,
right, you wind up becoming the Suns, right?
Yeah. Or the Lakers before LeBron, You can get too many of these guys. And Detroit had how many young picks did they have? So Orlando, right? These teams that are constantly in the lottery, a bunch of young number 6 picks, And so, yeah, it's interesting. And the game 1 of the Western Conference Finals has started. Portland Trailblazers at the Golden State Warriors. So we will keep you posted on that. But the big news thus far, the draft, lottery, and a lot different than most people expected. And 2 of the 3 teams, Rob, the Phoenix Suns and Cleveland Cavaliers, who had the best chance along with the Knicks of getting the number 1 pick, they fell all the way out of the top 5. And so it was definitely a lot of upheaval in the draft lottery. All right, your turn to weigh in. 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Zion Williamson is headed to New Orleans. So what's next for the rest of the NBA?
Chris, we start off with Kevin in Seattle. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Kev?
Hey, fellas, I do appreciate the time. Did I hear right that the Pelicans got the first overall pick in this year's draft?
Yes, they did.
Is that the team that currently has Anthony Davis right now, too?
Yes, not for long, but they do have him.
Right.
Okay, Zion and Anthony Davis together as a sales pitch and bring in someone to that team. Why not have a super team right now, right there, next season? Why would Anthony Davis want to leave that? Don't you think that's a compelling sales pitch?
No.
No?
I don't. If Anthony Davis doesn't want to be there, even you don't know. I mean, Zion's a young kid. He's supposed to be great. But if Anthony Davis can get to New York or LA, I'm with Chris on this. I don't think it changed. Anthony Davis today goes, oh, wait a minute. We got Zion. We'll be able to win a championship. I don't think that.
The riches, though, that team has, everyone's talking about, well, maybe New York could get the first pick and then work a trade. The team that has Anthony Davis gets the first pick. They don't have to trade with anybody. They could do whatever
you're right
want.
about that. It changes things for other teams. But here's the deal. Anthony Davis still wants out. And what this tells you, Rob, is that he really wants to get to a bigger market.
Right.
This is simple. Forget it that, I don't have the teammates. No, you got Drew Holiday. You got Julius Randle. You had Nikola Mirotic. You got now you got Zion Williamson. Like the team isn't that. You got some potential there.
We talked about it last year. Didn't they sweep Portland?
They swept Portland, who's now in the conference finals.
They swept Portland a year ago.
The only loss was Rajon Rondo.
Yep.
So it's not about the team. It's not even about the organization not being well run, because now you got David Griffin, who's a good right. He wants to be elsewhere. It's his prerogative, and this doesn't change anything.
How about Lewis in Orlando? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Lewis?
Hey, man, love the show, guys.
Thank you.
Loving your conversation. Yeah, I mean, awesome stuff. I love when you guys are on some of the other FS1 shows. Great radio show. Listen, I grew up as a Lakers fan here in Central Florida because my Orlando Magic, they've been living in late lottery pick purgatory for the last 5-6 years. So the only thing I got to look forward to is what the Lake Show can do. And I hear you talking about the Knicks, that third pick, get AD. But let me ask you, fellas. The Lakers were about to give New Orleans everything that wasn't, nailed down in L.A. for AD. Is the fourth pick and maybe a Kuzma or a Ball or something else a little bit more attractive for the Pelicans? Because instead of just getting just a pick for AD, they're getting a pick and maybe some other young talent to fill out what could be a pretty good squad in their conference.
Lewis,
they do have more talent to give up than New York. Even if I think Rob might be a little down on Ingram, Kuzma, Ball. But whether you're down on them or not, they're better than what the Knicks can put together with the third pick. So it really depends on how New Orleans views these players. Like, if New Orleans likes Cam Reddish as much as they like R.J. Barrett, then he could go to L.A. with the fourth pick.
Lewis, here's why I do not think it's going to happen. They felt like the Lakers were trying to steal AD, and I know it's not the same general manager, but the same ownership and people. I don't think they want to make a deal with the Lakers, just the way that Pop and them didn't want to do one with Kawhi going to the Lakers. I do not believe they're going to trade him to the Lakers. If he goes there as a free agent and doesn't sign wherever he goes, but I think if he was traded to New York, he would sign a deal. But that's why I don't believe he'll wind up in the Lakers, because I don't think they want to help the Lakers, because they felt like this whole thing was orchestrated by the Lakers.
I think if the Lakers give them the best deal, like blows away everybody else's deal, then he could end up there. But their preference will certainly be to send him east. So if the choices are pretty close, they'll probably send him east.
I don't disagree. All right, Mark in Virginia, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mark?
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing? I'm just wondering, in the NBA right now, what are we doing? If guys don't appreciate winning situations and trying to get to a better situation, what are we doing? It's like a circus. Number one, why would Kyrie want to leave Boston and go to New York? New York's a mess. LA's a mess. When did New York become such a mecca of basketball? I was born in '63, and they haven't done that since I've been born. So why are they all of a sudden this place, the promised land?
Well, Mark,
guys are in situations, and nothing's ever good enough for these guys.
Well, a lot of guys want to do their own thing, want to leave their own marks. And what do we talk about, Chris? Kyrie is from New Jersey, and maybe he just wants to play, quote unquote, home in Brooklyn or
New Jersey. You better go to New York and lose because you're from Jersey.
No, but if you're going with KD, you're not losing.
Right.
Mark,
if he went
not
there
going by
himself, I think he'd be crazy.
Right. He's not going.
Why would KD leave Golden State? That's what I'm talking about.
Well, because for KD, with his stature and his legacy and the historical viewpoint of him, he, I think, wants to win somewhere else.
Yes.
To show that he didn't just jump on the bandwagon.
You look like a fool who walked out of a situation.
Here's the thing, too, though, Mark, and a lot of fans don't think of it this way, but for these guys, this is their job. Just like you and I have our job. And sometimes when we make decisions, we make lifestyle decisions.
Chris left ESPN.
Right. I left ESPN, a bigger network, obviously the worldwide leader in sports and all that, because I thought it was a better situation here. And some guys leave like people, you might want to live in New York. You might want to live in LA. You might want to live somewhere else.
Right.
And you'll make career decisions based on that. And these dudes do the same thing. To us as fans, it looks crazy because we think it should just be about winning. But for them, like LeBron James, going to LA was not just about winning. It was about his family and his business interests and his lifestyle off the court as well.
No doubt about it. Let's squeeze one more in. Trey in New Jersey. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Trey?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing good.
So I don't really think this is – I was listening to your conversation about Durant. When he's coming to New York, he's coming here for the main purpose is that he knows if he wins here. First of all, there's only one canyon of heroes.
Right.
Okay, let's be honest. Things are bigger here. It's the difference of the reason why Eli is going to get into the Hall of Fame and Dan Fouts isn't. It's like he won 2. He won in New York.
There's something to that. Yep.
So it's like, but I'm thinking, if I'm the Knicks and I have the third pick, why don't you offer that for Anthony Davis? Because
I've been saying it, Trey.
I think that makes sense. If you're the Pelicans, why don't you just go and reset around 2 building blocks? And now you have rookie guys for 5 years or 4 or 5 years.
Not only that, Trey, they're 2 guys, because Ja Morant's going to go second, and it could be Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett, 2 guys who were roommates in college, who were good friends, played together, had great success, could grow together. I think if they're high on Barrett, then if they think Barrett is by far the third best player, in the top 3 of this draft,
hey, I'm a Duke
then
fan.
They could get him.
R.J. Barrett, for me, I'm going to say, you guys have strong opinions. I think at worst he can be Paul George. At best, he's T-Mac. He's good. That guy has skills. There is a reason why Coach K put the ball in his hand in the fourth quarter over Zion sometimes.
And you know what? And coming into the season, it was all about him. All right.
Right, he was a top player in the nation.
He was the top one, right.
Yep. All right. Interesting stuff, Rob, for sure. Forget the next LeBron. College hoops guru Rashad Phillips says Zion Williamson is more likely to become the next Julius Randle. What? He'll explain next. But first, let's bring in Brian Finley for the latest in sports. Brian.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Zion Williamson had a dazed look on his face once the NBA draft lottery wrapped up, and so did most of the NBA fan base. The Pelicans snuck in and captured the number 1 pick. New Orleans Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations David Griffin told reporters afterwards he really had a very strong feeling about this and that he doesn't believe the universe makes mistakes. Interesting take. New Orleans had only a 6% chance to get that first overall selection. Another surprise, the Grizzlies soared up to number 2. The Knicks plummeted to 3rd. The Lakers climbed to number 4. The Cavs disappointed, being outside the top 4. The Suns also got snubbed. They're number 6. And the Bulls nosedived to the 7th spot.
And Rob, you know what tonight is. It's Trash Talkin Tuesday.
That's right.
So get in line. 877-99 on Fox. 877-996-6369. Call in now. These lines fill up quickly. A lot of people want to weigh in and get their chance to trash anyone or anything in the world of sports. I'm sure a lot of people want to trash some things that happened in the NBA lottery tonight. So call in now, and we'll hit that on the next segment. But first, we want to bring in our good friend, the college hoops analyst, voice of Sports Talk 2319, a man with some bold opinions, and I'm about to jump on one of them now. Rashad Phillips, what's up,
What's
brother?
up, Shad?
What's up, couple? Chris already got me laughing before we even get started.
Yo, I'm going to read verbatim what you just tweeted 18 minutes ago.
Oh, my
Zion
goodness.
and Julius Randle are the same exact player. One jumps higher and the other one shoots it better.
Wow.
Explain yourself.
So when I look at the players, this is no slight to Zion. I mean, Julius
It
Randle
is. Come on, man.
No.
If he's Julius Randle, then that's going to be a big disappointment. And Julius is a good player, but that's going to be a huge disappointment to people.
Okay, just from the basketball style standpoint, is left-handed, big, strong, nosedive type of scorer with a little bit more athleticism. But when you look at Julius Randle, he's more of a jump shooter. So from the style of play, I think they have they're the same archetype. I just think Zion is more of a super duper version of Julius Randle.
Is he going to be better than Julius Randle?
I think he's going to be more exciting than Julius Randle, but I mean, Julius.
That's a nice way of saying no.
No.
If Zion, what is Julius in his 3rd or 4th year? If Zion in his 3rd or 4th year is an 18, 19-point scorer on a bad team, been traded once, then that's a disappointment. It's cool because you know you the man. I'm just saying, own it, own it.
I see what you own. I got you, Chris. Look, I'm telling you, Zion is a ticket seller. He's marketable. He's going to sell tons of shoes. He's gonna sell out the arena. He's gonna have some thunder. He's gonna do some thunderous things. But basketball skill-wise, there are some things that he still needs to polish up on. He's only 18 years old, so he's not a full-fledged basketball player yet. So let's not put too much on his plate right now. Julius Randle is a better NBA player right now today. Not saying that he'll be a better NBA player in 3 years, but today, Julius Randle is the better NBA player.
Rashad, what about we all talked about the same three players at the top of the draft, but here the Lakers have the 4th overall pick. Who knows if they'll even use it or try to trade it or do something. But who would be the 4th pick? Because I think the top 3 we know. Who would be your 4th overall pick?
I think the Lakers are going to make some trades before that pick. But I mean, I like Cam Reddish. He's probably my favorite player outside of John Morant in this draft and Nasir Little. So I like Reddish because he can do a little bit of everything. He reminds me a little bit of Tracy McGrady. So he can spot up, shoot, which when you're playing with LeBron, you got to be able to stand still, shoot. He can handle the ball at 6'9", so he can take care of some of those duties, and he can facilitate and he can defend. So I really like Cam Reddish a lot. And if the Lakers take a hard look at him, this can be a kid that can be gold for them.
Rashad, we had you on a month or two ago, and you like Ja Morant, but you said you don't think he's a star, like superstar. Have you changed your tune on that? And if not, or if so, why?
Well, like, to be a superstar in the league, guys, you guys know, like, you have to be able to check all the boxes. And I still think that Morant is fantastic. I think he'll be a star, but I can't put the super in front of him yet because I still think from an offensive standpoint, he doesn't shoot it well enough yet. He's still in that John Wall mode. And when you look at John Wall, I don't see superstar in John Wall either, but I see star, really good point guard, high-level point guard. So there's no slight to Ja because he is my favorite player in this draft, but I can't put super in front of that yet. He is a star, though.
Give me your in the draft. Is there anybody? I mean, this whole draft lottery was upside down. Is there a player who maybe the Bulls or the Suns could wind up that maybe people don't know about? Could be a star. Is there another player who's a star at 5, 6, or 7?
Here's the guy that I love. Oh, absolutely. I really love Jared Culver. I got a chance. And when we spoke a month ago, guys, I hadn't done all my film study on Jared Culver, but this kid is terrific. Like, I watched this film. I broke it down. This kid reminds me of Paul Pierce back when he was in Kansas. Same type of exquisite footwork, can move without the ball. He's big. He can go off the dribble, and he can defend. Jared Culver is the guy. Jared Culver's the guy.
Rashad, where are you at on Ben Simmons? Because I know you critique, NBA players as well. Where are you at on him? Would you trade him? Do you think he can be salvaged with a jump? Like he can develop a jumper, or he doesn't need one and he'll be great because he does the other thing? Like give me your whole take on Ben Simmons.
I just, Chris, we spoke about this. We always go back and forth about Ben. Look, I like Ben Simmons. I just think that the kid being done a disservice because he's being played out of position. I wouldn't trade him. He's only 22 years old. I would just try to find a point guard for that Philadelphia team, and I believe Ben Simmons can be better than what he actually is today if you just take him off the ball. Just take him off the ball. So I won't trade him. He's a franchise guy, so I'll keep him in Philly, but we have to get a point guard there to neutralize and offset Ben Simmons' deficiencies, which is knocking down shots come playoff time.
It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Rashad Phillips, of course, college basketball analyst, voice of Sports Talk 2319. You can hit him up at Twitter at RP3Natural. So what about, we were just talking about the 76ers, Joel Embiid. If you have to move one of those two, you're saying that you would keep Simmons out of those two.
Yeah, I'll keep Simmons and I'll move Joel.
Really?
I would trade him. Yeah.
Why? Health concerns or just game?
The kid can play. He can play basketball. To me, the way the NBA, the game is played today, and it's going to be played like this for the next 10, 15 years. That I just think that the position he's a back to the basket guy, but he's trying to play face up. I just think that he looks out of character doing that. I don't like seeing him shoot threes. I just think he needs to work on his condition, and at the same time, he kind of has that Dwight Howard mentality in regards to, does he really take the game serious? Is this guy in the gym working on his game, really trying to be the best that he possibly can be, meaning maximizing his potential? I don't think Philadelphia is the place for him, and I believe Philadelphia is 1 to 2 players away from winning a championship, and that's a point guard and maybe moving Joel B and finding something else. And I believe Philadelphia has a championship team.
Interesting stuff. That's
No
our
doubt.
man, the college hoops analyst, the voice of Sports Talk 2319, Rashad Phillips. We appreciate the knowledge, my man. All right, guys.
Don't you ever talk about me. It's Trash Talkin' Tuesday.
It's your teeth, Reggie. I don't know whether to smile at you or kick a field goal, man.
Chris, you ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, Max in Georgia. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Who you trashing, Max?
Robert Kraft.
Robert
Kraft, known for owning 2 franchises, Kraft Mac and Cheese and the Patriots. Here's a guy whose wealth has gotten him to be the owner of an NFL team, call athletes and celebrities friends, including the president and his iPhone. The league, which holds its, quote, employees to a higher standard when it comes to embarrassing the shield, the league must set a new standard for the owners being fined and suspended. Around the league, he's known as Mr. Kraft. Well, Mr. Kraft has been a part of multiple scandals: Tuckgate, Spygate, Deflategate. Now a new scandal I call Happygate. The slogan, winning the Patriots way, has been taken way too far. For in order for them to win, they must cheat. Well, karma's gotten back at Mr. Kraft with the videotaping of himself condoning sex acts for money, utilizing his mac and cheese wealth. Well, you're no Mac, for Mac never paid for services rendered. In this case, it's probably not their choice, for they're enslaved, and the cheese is their unfortunate reward. Shame on you, Mr. Kraft, for impeding the justice system with your cheese and your dream team influence. Your team's famous for cheating the system, and the slogan, do your job, that's exactly what the justice system of Florida is doing, their job.
Wow. There we go, Max.
Mac going in hard.
Wow.
That's a nice one. That's
No
a
doubt
nice
about
one.
it. Harry in Columbus, Ohio. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Who you trashing, Harry?
LeBron James.
All right.
Well, LeBron started to the Lakers by promising everyone pizza, never showed up, went out, got blown out by the Blazers, got hurt, came back, missed the playoffs, played horribly, then sent Kyle Kuzma out for the lottery. Did you see the look on Kuzma's face? He was confused. He was looking around and was like, looking like, at first he didn't even think he was actually on the team. Can't believe he was still on the team. He felt like he should have got traded. LeBron's not in L.A. to win championships. Like Skip says, I hate to agree with him. He's there to be Michael B. Jordan, not Michael Jordan.
Man,
All right.
Harry taking him to task.
It would have been a good look for LeBron to be at the lottery, right? The guy on the dais.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't happening. How about Marty in Kentucky? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Who you trashing, Marty?
I am trashing Paul Pierce.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, Paul Pierce, you're not an analyst. You were a good player. You will never be as great of a player as you think you are because you think that you're better than Dwayne Wade. Number 2, then you come out and say that the series is over after one game in Boston, Milwaukee, and then you get made to look like a fool, and you don't even show any humility after that. You turn around and still act like you know everything. And just the other night, you're with your teammates, Jalen Rose and Chauncey Billups, and they disagree with you, and you talk down to them. And you even threw shade at Jalen Rose by turning to Chauncey Billups and saying, you know what I'm talking about, Chauncey. To win, you got to do this because Chauncey won championships. This guy's ego has gotten way too far. Just because he's a good ball player does not mean he's an analyst. You guys have had 2 better analysts that used to be players on your show in the last 2 days, and Katino Mobley and Dante Jones. This guy is garbage. They need to get him off the TV.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Marty. Let's squeeze in Mace.
Wow.
You only got 45 seconds, Mace. Who you trashing?
Eli Manning, a.k.a. Sheila Manning. I'm sick and tired of seeing this mouth breather who always looks like he wants to cry and has that permanent dumbfounded expression like he's saying, duh, okay, George, close your damn mouth. You have been awful the past 3 seasons, and you've been straight garbage. Phil Simms could do a better job than you could. If the Colts will cut your older brother Peyton, that means you're expendable. You're an absolute coward by having your dad speak on your behalf to tell the league you didn't want to get drafted by San Diego. Did your daddy break up with your girlfriend also? Way to be a real man, Sheila. Because of that, I guarantee you that you pee sitting down all the time. This should not come as a surprise. After all, your name is short for Alicia.
Man,
wow. Mace never disappoints.
Well,
he always comes
as usual, man. Everybody, other guys who tried to get in, you got to wait till next Tuesday. Sorry about that.
Great calls, though. Great calls, and a great night of basketball that's still continuing. I can't wait to watch the rest of this game. But you guys go to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, FoxSportsRadio.com. Subscribe to The Odd Couple. Download the podcast. Give us 5 stars or whatever you want to do. And leave a comment, good or bad. We love hearing from you. And we will be back with you tomorrow. Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, Fox Sports Radio, Odd Couple signing off.